Welcome to another coding tutorial, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create an array of objects using object-oriented programming. We're going to be creating these two examples today, which is based on the bouncing ball tutorial that I did using object-oriented programming. But in today's video, we're going to focus on creating arrays of objects or an array of balls. And it's going to be quite interactive because the location at which we create these balls is going to be based on where we click the mouse. So what you see here is the code that I have written for the bouncing ball coding tutorial using object-oriented programming. The class is called ball. And ball within the constructor function has a total of 4 variables, right? It has the x and y location, and then it has the dx and dy variables, which is for the speed and direction of the ball. And then we have a total of 3 methods. Draw circle, which draws a circle yellow. And we have move circle, which moves the location of the circle. And then we have check boundaries, which checks when the ball hits the border of the 4 sides. So go back to sketch.js. Right now, we have created just one object called B, and then it's just one ball that is drawn, moved, and bounced around the canvas, as you can see here. What I'm gonna do next is that instead of having just one ball, I want to have multiple balls, and I want these balls to be created when I click the mouse, and I want the initial location to be where I click the mouse. I'm going to first create an array. An array is going to be called ball, and I'm going to tell it that it's the type array by writing this square bracket. I'm going to comment out this B here. I am going to comment this out as well. We're not going to create any ball within the setup function or when we first call the program. These ball objects are only going to be created when we click the mouse. So we can use a function, a built-in function within p5.js called mousePressed. And mousePressed is called whenever you click your mouse on the canvas. So what we want to do is that we want to add an object within the balls array whenever we click the mouse. And we can use a function called push. And how push works is that you have to first write the name of the arrays, dot, and then push, right? And then basically, what do you want to push? You want to push an object into an array. And you can do that by basically just write the same syntax here. New ball, but instead of hard coding the number of the location here, you want it to be at the location of the mouse. So you just do mouse x, comma mouse y. And mouse x and mouse y are built-in variables that contains the location of where you click the mouse. And now within the draw function, instead of calling these 3 lines here, what you're going to do is that you're going to create a for loop. And the for loop inside here, what you need is 3 things, right? The first one is the counter variable. The second one is the condition. But the condition is I less than what? You want the condition to be I less than the length of the array, right? And that depends on how many of the objects are already in the array. So you can do that by just write I is less than the name of the arrays dot length. Then I plus plus. So initially, balls.length would be 0 because we have not created anything in the balls array yet. Okay, and then you want to cycle through all the objects in the array balls and call all the functions, draw circle, move circle, and check boundaries. You can copy this, and then change the name. As you can see here, we're just calling the 3 functions the same way that we called when we had only one object, right? But instead, because we have an array of objects, we use a for loop to call these functions. So when you click play, there's nothing yet. So let me just actually first print out balls.length. Initially, ball.length is 0, right? Then let me actually put this inside the draw function. So you can see that here. Ball.length equals 0. And as you click the mouse, then you create more balls at the location where you press the mouse, right? And now you have more and more balls objects. Another example that I want to show you is that when you press the mouse, I want you to be able to create a bunch of circles at the same time. And then when you release the mouse, then you stop creating those circles. So how would you do that? So first, you basically do the same thing by creating an array called balls, an empty array. So I'm gonna write a conditional statement, and this conditional statement is basically gonna say, if I press the mouse, do something. And you can use this built-in Boolean variable called mousePressed that has an outcome of true or false, and it's only true when you click the mouse, right? When you press the mouse. So let me actually just show you print mousePressed. Oh, actually it's called mouse is pressed. And as you can see here that I have written the right built-in variable because it turns pink. Okay, so let me click play. And then right now it's false. I'm not pressing the mouse. So now I'm gonna press the mouse. And then it becomes true. Now I release the mouse, then it becomes false. Okay, so what we want is that we want a conditional statement called if mouse is pressed. We want to create new objects inside the balls array whenever we click the mouse. You just do the name of the array dot push, and then inside this parentheses, you basically just write new ball, and then the location is mouse X and mouse Y, right? But actually, instead of giving it a constant dx and dy, I'm gonna go back to our ball class and actually make these parameters as well. Okay, and I'm also going to, how about we change the color to red, and I'm gonna make it a lot smaller. Let's do 5. So if we go back to Sketch, and now we need to give arguments for the dx and dy variables. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna give it a random value, random, and I want it to have a random direction between -2 and 2, both in the x direction and in the y direction. Okay, so if mouse is pressed, then you add new objects into the balls array. And then all you need to do, similar to the previous example, is that you just create a for loop, and this for loop will go through the lengths of the balls array, and then we're gonna call the 3 methods. Balls. Okay, let's see. Click run. Nothing happens. It's an empty array. Now, once I press the mouse, see, all the balls are created at that location. And then if I click at the different locations. Okay, let me try again and just do a little bit each time. And you see, now we have a bunch of ball objects in here. And now you see how you can create an array of objects using object-oriented programming, which is very neat because now all the data and all the functions are all contained and encapsulated within the object itself.